In my last video, I investigated one of the early rogue storylines in classic WoW. We explored the secrets of the Hidden Circle, a thieves guild within the city of Ironforge that was spying on the Dwarven army, and specifically the mysterious shipments of ore and gems that were being collected via steam tank. I postulated the obscure routes taken by the tanks around Dun Morogh were a front, meant to give the tanks a patrol while the treasure could be returned to Ironforge discreetly, perhaps depositing it within the vaults of old Ironforge beneath the city. However, the quest ends before any concrete details are discovered, and you are sent to Red Ridge after being found out by the guards. I encourage you to check out that video if you've not done so already, but recently, I discovered a few more clues that add another layer of intrigue to this mystery. And with the information in game, I think I've pieced together a compelling theory for you all today. With all that being said, let's get right into it. Originally, I figured there was no real reason besides a territorial patrol for the steam tanks to drive from the quarry to Karanos and then all the way around the rest of the zone before returning to the city. It's unlikely the guards would trade or deal with the leprous gnomes outside Numragon, nor with the clans of Frostmane trolls that dwell in the outer hills. The small village of Brunal can be found nearby, but it's a meager settlement, not somewhere worth stashing gold or gems. Plus, the NPCs here seem much more concerned with brewing the perfect stout than thinking about matters of importance. It just wasn't adding up. That detail, that one detail about taking the long way round, had to mean something. I just needed to look deeper. After scouring the snowy peaks and valleys of Dun Morogh and consulting my Brady Games strategy guide from 2004, I found something very interesting. It just so happens that in this entire half of the zone, there is one more quest, one more NPC, who in my 13 years of playing I had never encountered before. Just one other. In the south central hills, adventurous dwarves and gnomes may stumble across a small cave overlooking western Dun Morogh. Here, among piles of mountaineering equipment, one can find Tundra McGran, a hermit of sorts who lives up here in the mountains. It may not look like much, but I think this NPC is the key to everything. From a geographic perspective, this is one of the only remaining ideas that makes sense. We've covered pretty much every other area of the map, and with the Coldridge Pass overrun with trogs and too small in size for a tank, I don't think they're heading in that direction for a delivery. But the Chillbreeze Valley and its resident hermit have some other hidden details that are very telling. What if, hear me out, the steam tank routes are specifically designed to go past this refuge, a hideout at which McGran is storing vast amounts of treasure? Check out the supplies scattered around the camp. There's enough wood and building materials for even a small overlook here. I think other dwarves are sponsoring this little project, and even if our friend here doesn't appear to be affiliated with the guard, the banner on the slope nearby might give us a hint. He could be a seasoned outdoor adventurer, or maybe even a veteran of the mountaineers themselves, bringing along warm clothes and food stores for long vigils alone in the mountains. Don't take my word for it though, he says as much himself. McGran only offers a singular quest, and it's not connected to anything else going on in the zone, or at least so we're led to believe. I had a month's worth of dried meat salted and locked away for the cold season. Kept it locked so the bears wouldn't get it. But while I was off hunting deer, that beast, old Icebeard, made off with the meat locker. He won't be able to smash through that thorium though, but I'll starve if I can't get my meats back. You seem a bit more stealthy than me. Perhaps you can retrieve my stash? Did you catch it? One word that gives us yet another clue. Thorium. In WoW, thorium is a precious metal mined in-game in high-level zones. It's used to make high-quality weapons and armor, and it seems intentional that the quest mentions this detail. Not copper, not iron, but thorium, a likely symbol of status within dwarven culture. Now, why would a lone hermit have obtained a solid thorium lockbox only to use it to stash dried meat? We can't say for certain, but it's possible this is one of many treasures granted to him to watch over, with countless others buried underneath the snow or within remote caves. There is a conspiracy going on here, but not in the way we first thought. The treasure doesn't make it back to Ironforge. Maybe some of the wealth of the Royal Vault is smuggled out of the city, then added to at the Golbalar Quarry before being taken into the wild by the steam tanks, where McGran uses his knowledge of the mountains to help the dwarves store their riches. You might not be fully convinced yet, especially because of the why. Why would the dwarves, King Magni, the Senate, whoever, be managing this whole operation, and why now? I think there's a plausible answer to this question too. War. Specifically, a new war against the rival Dark Iron clan. The Thandal span was recently attacked, the Stonerot Dam is rumored to be next, and even within the natural walls of Dun Morogh, agents of the Dark Iron movement are gathering, plotting to retake the throne. Moreover, there are rumors of the princess being kidnapped en route to Redridge, and spies are everywhere. It is a dangerous time for the dwarves in this era of conflict, and with many of the troops fighting the Horde in far-off lands for the Alliance, Ironforge has been put in a difficult position where it must become more protective and isolationist where it can. We see the senators taking active roles in local affairs, cleaning up the troll problem, and getting mining back on schedule. We see young adventurers like ourselves stepping in to fill the gaps, fighting against invaders. Observant adventurers might notice the Dwarven embassy in Stormwind is empty, perhaps another sign of the times. But most importantly, at least for this video, we see indirectly another protocol taking place, transferring the riches of the dwarves out of the capital and into secret holdings. The royal treasury would be protected in the case of invasion, an idea that isn't far off considering the other factors at play, including Dark Iron agents just inside Gnomeregan, and all the other surface level threats to the kingdom we see and deal with on our journey. Hopefully you can now see why this theory is at least possible with all the other things happening in this tumultuous time, and why this guy on a random mountaintop in Dun Morogh might just be one of the most important NPCs in the entire zone. That's all I've found in the time since publishing my last video. This whole story really exemplifies that spark that I, along with so many of us, feel when we find something new, or secret, or cool within the world of classic WoW, and I hope you enjoyed my ideas and my attempt at pulling some of these lost story elements together. Thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, may the Force be with you.